This is CHSR 97.9 FM here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. This is Python's Paradise, your film and music show, and this is your host, Greg Gilbert, a.k.a. the Python Hyena. And folks, I've had Scotty McCoy here on the show 3 times now, and he is already booked to come on for 2020 because he just can't get enough. Well, he's not on the phone with me today. In fact, he's in the midst of making a film for his Gravestone Productions called Samhain. And he would love to get a little bit of promotion, and he sent his lead actress, his heroine, to me today. So, folks, I give you the very lovely and very much praised by Scotty McCoy, Amanda Megan. How do you do, Amanda?
Hi, Greg. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. So what's it like? You guys getting that fall chill right now like we are?
Yes, I actually live in Pennsylvania, and we were down in the 30s last night. We had our first frost warning of the season.
Yeah? Well, have you ever been out my way, out the New Brunswick, Canada way?
No, I've never been to Canada. The furthest north I've been has been upstate New York.
Well, you gotta come out to Canada, the big U.S.
Yeah, it's on my to-do list.
Yeah, it's a big U.S. out there, but yeah, we got bigger Canada here. Well, you know what? I heard lots of great things about you from Scotty, but I was just wondering if I can get a little bit of your background before we talk about you fighting off monsters.
Of course. What would you like to know?
How you got to be part of this film? Like, I don't know whether are you an actress, or are you part of something else? Because I know that Scotty's doing this independently and having some of his friends involved. So I'm wondering, are you an actress, or are you involved in, like, just give me a little bit of your background and how you come to being part of this film.
Okay, so I actually went to high school with Scotty. I do some event planning, and Scotty was promoting one of his books a couple of years ago, and he was one of our vendors, helped raise some money for some close family that had some serious medical issues going on. And then he had approached me about this film when he had first started toying with the idea. It actually originally started as a web series, and we had to kind of like put it on hold and revamp some things, and now we're just about to wrap filming. So didn't start out as an actress, but here we are.
Are you going to continue it?
I would like to, yes.
Yeah, I was looking at some pictures of you on Facebook, and you had some bikini shots on there, and I'm like, what are the chances of you doing those shots opposite Scotty and his boxers that he seems to pose in while he's asleep?
Oh, goodness. I don't know if I can handle that.
I think I told him, I said, you need to lock the door.
Yeah, he likes to be shirtless a lot on set, too. So,
You ever give him a big slap for doing that?
I've thought about it quite a few times.
I come to know Scotty through Facebook. He, of course, is very much loves the horror scene, and I got connected with him first in 2017 and had him on to talk about his trivia books, and I've interviewed a lot of people from the genre, and he and I kind of kept in touch. I don't know of anybody, and I mean anybody, that takes pictures of themselves with such a big smile on their face while they're at work, of all places.
Right? At least he loves his job.
He's one of the few.
Right?
Like, I do this as a volunteer, but he gets all dressed up and he does these selfies in front of his mirror. I'm like, yeah, quite a handful. So how did he come to get you in this film?
Well, originally he had something posted on Facebook about needing actors and stuff for the web series when he was first thinking about it. And I had sent him a message about it. and I had gotten to be really good friends over the years as well. I consider him one of my best friends now. Um, so when I reached out to him, he's like, okay, well, these are the roles that I have. What are you thinking? And he was actually really excited that I had reached out to him because he was hoping that I would. He had like a vision and part of like
Yeah.
that he could probably describe it a little better for you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that happened. And then we had to scrap the web series part of it and kind of take like about a year or so off. And
Okay.
we actually weren't going to start with a horror movie. We were going to start with something different. And I just kind of had this feeling. I was like, no, we need to do this. Like, this needs to happen. So I kind of pushed him into redoing it into like a movie, and we got a crew together, we got a cast together, and they are all absolutely amazing. They all have wonderful ideas, and it's been so much fun to work with them.
So how many times has Scotty run around on set in his underwear?
At least 3 that I can count off the top of my head.
Do you ever like come up to him, like throw this big blanket over him, saying, "Cover yourself up"?
Oh, we yell at him all the time.
Oh, gee, he's like fearless with that.
He's definitely fearless, yes. No body confidence issues there whatsoever, which is good. It's a little bit of a handful for the rest of us.
So I'm going to take a wild guess and say that the villain of the film is Scotty and his boxers, right? Because I can't think of anything scarier.
You're close. You're close.
Yeah. So
we tried to keep that out of the film as much as possible.
why you don't? Because you're the heroine of the film. You don't think for a second you've able to stand up to that?
Oh, I've been.
That's what we need to see. You running away from Scotty while Scotty's pursuing you in his boxers.
That would make for an interesting blooper reel, maybe.
So I'm looking at your thing. You play a character named Sammy Freed, right?
Yes, that's correct.
They got you billed as Amanda Sawyer. Or sorry.
Yeah.
So is it Amanda Megan or Amanda Sawyer?
So my legal name is Amanda Sawyer. I go by Amanda Megan. Sawyer is my married name, and I'm no longer married, so I prefer to just go by my first and middle name.
Okay. So you're not going to marry Scotty?
No.
Well, you know what? That's your ex's loss, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're still good friends, though, so I have to give him credit for that.
Okay, we'll give him credit for that.
Not too much, just a little bit.
So we're looking at this called Samhain, a Halloween horror movie. I am looking at a poster here. This one here. No, this is not the right movie. I'm sorry. I clicked on one of the pictures and I thought it was attached to Samhain, but I guess it was more like this. I guess I clicked the wrong thing. I guess there's more than one Samhain movie out there, and I'm going to just go ahead and say, because I know Scotty and I'm included. We're both big fans of John Carpenter's Halloween, and I'm going to guess that his big influence for Samhain is Halloween. And of course, you get the killer with the clown mask, which I see as a reference there. But Samhain seems to be a reference from Halloween as well, because it's mentioned in Halloween 2. Is there any truth to that from your vantage point?
Yes, that is correct. John Carpenter's and the Halloween franchise were definitely a big part of Scotty's inspiration. And Samhain is actually pronounced Samhain. It's a Gaelic term,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't kind of pronounce all the letters the way we're used to pronouncing the letters.
Okay.
But that's basically what Halloween started out as. It did start out as more of like a pagan holiday to kind of remember and honor the dead.
Yeah, now
And
it's...
then, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now it's Scotty McCoy running around in his boxers.
Yeah. That's scary enough.
I always get on him about that because it's like I think his parents taking pictures of him asleep in his boxers.
He probably just does it himself and then says that other people do it.
Well, I know he's got a great relationship with his folks, so. but yeah. So talk about your role in the movie. And you're the heroine. Talk about your role and some of the stories about filming this, some of the difficulties.
Okay. So Sammy is basically the daughter of our villain, and she kind of has to come to terms with some traumatic things that she's dealt with, and her father is obviously a big part of that.
Mm-hmm.
She runs into these four nerds, one of which Scotty does play.
Mm-hmm.
They become really good friends, and they come up with this plan to stop Sammy's dad from terrorizing this little town of Frackville.
Okay.
So that's a real quick synopsis of the movie. I'm not going to give you much more than that. You're actually going to have to go watch it.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
How much is Scotty in? I'm worried. That's scary.
Overall, it's been a really cool experience. It was definitely something I never thought that I would do. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of struggles. Like, we have a little bit of a time constraint. We wanted to make sure it was authentic enough for the fall seasons here in Pennsylvania. And I know Scotty's under a lot of pressure to make sure it's done early enough so that our friends and family get to see it and experience this really cool accomplishment with all of us.
Yes, absolutely. So talk about the most difficult part of filming for you.
That's a tough one because not only do I act in it, I also help produce it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, my biggest struggle is keeping everybody on task and on track, so that way we can make sure we get everything done that we need to get done. I'm kind of like the one of the moms on set and help everybody get through the day.
So being one of the moms on set means you got to deal with Scotty too.
Exactly. He's probably our biggest problem child.
Biggest problem child. Now give us some examples of that.
Well, first of all, we got to make sure he keeps his clothes on. And he's one of the one that gets off track a little bit. Like, he's really excited about it, but then it gets him talking, and then we kind of lose focus for a minute or two, and we got to reel everybody back in.
Yeah, when you say he's a problem child, I just had this image that you showed up on set with a box of Huggies. Anyway, yeah, Scotty is hilarious. You know, I talk to him quite often online. Haven't talked to him in a while, but he pitched this to me and wanted to see if I'd help promote it, and I'm like, sure thing, you know. What differs from this movie from Halloween? Because it's wonderful to have references to Halloween, but you want your own movie to stand on its own. So how does Samhain do that?
Exactly. That was one of my biggest things when we started the actual production of the movie. I was like, we absolutely need this to be able to be on its own. We don't want to copyright. You know, we want people, when they talk about Samhain, we want them to talk about Samhain, not compare it to everything else. The fact that it is an indie and a lower budget kind of film, and that Scotty is doing it independently, is probably going to be one of the biggest differences. Obviously, because it's not going to have some of the same effects as like a higher budget movie would, like the Halloween franchises do. But we also went a little bit deeper with the villain and the character development of his character. So we focused a lot on the backstory there.
Well, here's something interesting, and this is something I always tell people doing independent films. Where you might not have the budget, you can make up for a lot of the visual part of it just by having great locations. Talk about the location work in this movie.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that for me?
Talk about the location work in this movie.
Oh, the location?
Yeah, like and
Okay.
how it ties in with the movie's tone and look.
And so the area that Scotty and I grew up in is called Schuylkill County.
Hmm.
There's not a whole lot going on there. There's a couple of really cool things, but it's more of like it's kind of depressed compared to some other areas in Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
There's a really cool location called Centralia that a lot of people have heard of. So that was kind of like our inspiration for a lot of the filming in the other locations that we chose. We wanted to showcase Pennsylvania's like fall weathers. Like Pennsylvania has gorgeous mountains, and they're even more beautiful in the fall with all the leaves changing colors and everything. So that was definitely a large part of it too.
Hmm. So, do you, as the heroine, do you do any stunt work in the movie?
I do a little bit.
Yeah, because I heard that Scotty had a little bit of an injury when he was filming. Were you there for that?
I he has an injury almost every time we're on set.
Well, he made it sound like it was only one time. Okay, the truth comes out.
He is a little clumsy.
I kind of gather that.
Thankfully, we haven't had any like major injuries. One of our other actors did pop his knee out once or twice, but it wasn't anything that required like a surgery or anything. We were able to take care of him, quickly and make sure he got back up on his feet.
Okay. Well, so your character is a father-daughter situation with the killer. Now that
Yeah.
is something interesting, something a little different. And talk about working with. I think is the actor's name Tyler?
The actor that plays the killer,
Yeah.
his name is Brett.
Oh,
Actually,
Brett.
there is a Tyler, but he plays one of the
Okay.
nerds.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Brett Harris.
Yes.
Okay. Talk about working with him and doing well, obviously, there's a relationship between the characters, but eventually your character's going to have to combat him. Talk about that.
Brett is so much fun on set. He absolutely loves his character. He has been all about this since day one,
Mm-hmm.
since before day one, actually. I was there when he did his audition,
Yep.
and it was really cool. The character definitely suits him. He does a very, very good job with it, and he's always got tons of ideas, tons of suggestions. It's really cool to work with him, and he's such a fun person anyway. He does a lot of like promotional work outside of the film,
Okay.
so he's super fun to work with. Tyler is also really fun to work with. He's a little bit younger, but he's very mature for his age. He's also got a lot of fun ideas. Like the cast, we've grown to be kind of like a little family. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have to huddle around and figure out what to do with Scotty.
yeah, pretty much. You
Have,
distract him while I get stuff done.
have you read Scotty's trivia books and his book Christ Defeats Cancer?
I have seen his trivia book, yes. I have
Mm-hmm.
not read Christ Defeats Cancer yet.
Okay. Yeah, because he was on here promoting those. Yeah, he had mentioned to me too. I don't know if he ran this by you. Um, did you hear about the Doubtfire Face Challenge?
Yes, he has ran that by me a couple of times, just today, actually.
Yeah, yeah. He did that. I threw it out to him I think it was 3 years ago when he did it, and he threw it out to a bunch of the Friday the 13th alumni, and
hmm
yeah. And he mentioned to me today that he's going to get the whole cast and crew in this movie involved with it. And I said, "Does that include Amanda?" And he said, "Yes."
Yeah, I don't have a choice anymore. Now it's happening.
Yeah, it's for suicide and depression awareness. So I thought it was cool that Scotty was going to get the whole cast and crew involved in that. So, yeah. Do you have any charities that you're involved with?
Actually, I'm actually on my way to a Halloween party tonight, and the Halloween party itself, they raise money, and then the money all goes towards buying coats for the orphanages around the area.
What about buying clothes for Scotty? Because Scotty don't wear very many.
We actually did have to buy him a couple pair of pants for filming.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh boy, that's funny. Talk about Scotty as an actor in this movie, because I know I've seen shots of him in very uncompromising positions here. Uh, Talk about him as an actor in this movie.
I was actually a little surprised by his acting skills. I'm not gonna lie. Like when we first started, because I like you know Scotty. I know Scotty very well too, and I just couldn't see him playing this character. And then there was a scene where we were in the woods, and he had to like get angry and like yell, and I didn't expect him to go the extent that he did. And I was actually like, oh hey, he actually can do this.
Yeah, I can't see him yelling.
Yeah, it threw me off a little, but it was cool to see, like, he really got into character, and the scene came together wonderfully.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think that's a wonderful charity that you're involved in. Halloween, like, it's November 2nd. Why and why now?
That's just when they could schedule it, I guess. Close enough.
What are you dressing up as?
So actually the party, they have the guests kind of like bid on what they want you to wear.
Okay.
So I don't know yet. It's a surprise.
Well, you're in a lot of trouble if you end up having to wear Scotty's boxers.
Well, let's hope not. Hopefully they're at least washed.
I don't know. I make fun of him every time he posts these pictures on there, and I think he does it just to razz people up, you know?
I think he does too. I think a lot of it is, I know at least 6 people are going to complain that I'm shirtless, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah. So, no, so you're going to be the heroine of the movie. So do you know if there's going to be a sequel to this?
We're keeping our options open.
Mm-hmm.
We would like to do a sequel at some point.
So this is the first film you've done, right?
This is the first film I've done. It's the first film Scotty's done, and it's the first film that Gravestone Films has ever done.
So tell me, were you nervous about acting? What gave you the confidence to do this?
I was definitely nervous about it. Like my thought process was kind of like, all these people are going to be watching me. What if I screw up? What if I don't know my lines? What if I do something ridiculous? Okay. And then nobody else knew their lines either.
Well, Scotty's got a lot of faith in you. Like Scotty pitched you to me just this week, and I was going to do Samhain mainly next year, but I thought, well, no, I'll talk to you, you know, because Scotty really sold you to me, which is why you're on the phone with me now. And he said you're the heroine. I always like heroines in movies, you know, because yeah. So you get, I know you can't get into detail, but when you combat in the climax of this movie, what do you guys have like any blood effects or anything like that you guys do?
We definitely have some really cool special effects. Our special effects artist is also our director. Her name is Gabrielle Rowland.
Okay.
She's done a couple other films, like special effects-wise as well, I believe. This is her debut as a director.
Okay.
And I think she's done a fabulous job so far.
Okay. You mean you mean she can keep Scotty in line?
Surprisingly, yeah. She does a really good job of keeping all of us in line, actually.
So, do you have any times in the film where you have to have a makeup job done on you, like for scars or lacerations or anything like that?
There will be a point where I'm covered in blood.
Oh, gee, that must be something you're looking forward to.
I think it'll be really cool, really fun to film. I'm not looking forward to the drive home afterwards.
Well, you know, just think. All Sissy Spacek did it in Carrie.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. You know,
I just hope I don't get pulled over.
oh, gee, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you, I know you get a Facebook page, and I've had you on Facebook. You got a web page or anything like that that you want to plug on here?
I don't have a personal website. I'm very active on Facebook. My character Sammy does have a Facebook page as well. Galen has a Facebook page. Gravestone has a Facebook page. I also have a personal Instagram page.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing some modeling on the side as well this year, so most of my model pictures are on the Instagram, and the Instagram tag is at Miss Mandy Rose 1.
Okay. So are you competing with Scotty in terms of modeling?
I think I win that automatically.
I was looking at some of your modeling pics on Facebook, and it was like, all this is missing is Scotty in one of his.
Right. Oh, now I'm picturing it. What did you do, Greg?
I'm going to tell Scotty to do that. I'm going to say, Amanda.
I can only imagine.
I'm going to say Amanda wants to model with you, and you're to wear your boxers.
He would be all about it too.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you want to promote and plug on here before we close off?
No, nothing I could think of. I just want to thank everybody that's been a part of our cast, our crew, and our friends and our family that have kept us motivated and sane while we made this movie magic happen. Like, we couldn't do it without all of them. And thank you to everybody that's listening and has reached out to us. And we look forward to making more movie magic happen for everybody.
So with that said, you're going to continue acting, right?
That's my plan.
Well, you know what? You should. You should, because, and here's the thing. A lot of people get their start in horror movies. Tom Hanks even got his start in horror movies, And so horror movies seem to be an easy way to go, but they're also a fun way to go, especially when they're done right. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Samhain turns out, and I'm very happy to help promote this. Like I said, Scotty's been a guest on here 3 times, and he's already booked for January.
Yeah, he was saying.
Yeah,
he absolutely loves talking with you too. So
that's good, because I love talking to him and hearing his ideas. I goof on him a lot on a lot of his pictures, So he's told me about this, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to get on the Indiegogo for it due to other financial situations, but I am really glad to be able to help promote it and get the word out there and introduce people to yourself.
Yes, and we're very thankful that you are willing to do this for us and with us, and thank you so much for all of it.
Well, I was going to say, before I let you go, would you mind doing a plug for my show?
Of course. Hey, this is Amanda Sawyer from Salad, and you're listening to Greg Gilbert of Python's Paradise in New Brunswick, Canada.
There you go. You got you didn't have to do multiple takes like Scotty.
Lots of practice.
When are you seeing him next?
November 10th.
November 10th? That's too far away. That's too far away for you.
Yeah, we needed a break. It's okay.
Is that more filming, or what's the story there?
November 10th is going to be the last day of filming, and that's a wrap, hopefully.
I'm going to message him, and I'm going to tell him to put his boxers on his head and chase you around. You're the heroine.
If he does that, I'm going to blame you right away.
Listen, you get to beat him up, and they can keep it filming.
That's true.
I guarantee you beat him up, he's still going to be friggin' smiling. I mean...
Yeah, he would be. You're right.
This guy smiles at work. I'm like, dude, tone it down. Yeah, he's not part of the Office Space atmosphere, because they didn't like work him.
I guess.
Do you smile when you go to work?
It depends on the day.
I
I do work another full-time job too, so it depends on how that day is going.
Okay. Well, you know what? I don't smile when I go to work. I smile when I do the podcast, but that's volunteer. So,
Right.
yeah. Oh, well.
So I got lucky at my full-time job. I have a really good team that I work with, so they make sure that we're having a good time.
Do you want to talk about that any?
I mean, we can if you'd like.
Sure, go ahead.
And so I'm an operations supervisor for a freight company.
Okay.
And like I said, I just have a really good team. Sometimes it's really stressful, and they always make each other laugh. They make sure I'm laughing too. And I find that if I have a bad day, they all start to have a bad day. So I try to keep my energy high enough for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I make sure that they know everything that they do is appreciated. So it takes there's a big difference between being a boss and a leader, and I think more people need to realize that.
So you're the operations supervisor. Now, did that come into play any in making this movie? Because you got some leadership skills.
A little bit, yeah. Like I said, I'm kind of like one of the quote-unquote moms on set. So
Okay.
I basically babysit them on set, and I babysit my people at work too, so to speak.
Yeah, well, Scotty needs that.
Yeah.
Well, Scotty was online talking to me, trying to get me connected with you. So I'm really glad that we were able to do this today. And, I don't know what had happened that I wasn't able to call out. I don't know what the story was there.
Yeah.
First time that's
I'm glad
happened.
that I was able to get in touch with you, though. Like, this was a really cool thing. I hope we get to do it again.
You know what? We can. We can definitely do that again. Actually, next year when Samhain is released, you know what? I'll reach out maybe around this time and have you back.
That would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. You have yourself a very nice day and have fun at that Halloween party. And then afterwards, go around to Scotty's house and scare him.
I'll take a whole crew with me.
I think you should.
I should.
All right. You take care and you have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Greg. You too.
Yes, you take care and God bless.
You too. Bye.
Bye.